Substack Live with Claudia Faith,
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and I had my stuff all set up, and I clicked live, and I couldn't get on, and she's like, "Where are you?" I was like,
Here?
"Oh, I can't use my phone." So I had the last minute, I'm like grabbing to get my phone and everything. So here we are. How are you?
Well, I'm good. I need your tips and tricks then, because so I have like the ring light thing that like holds your phone that I probably should be putting that on right now. But the glasses.
Oh, right. Yeah. So what I have here, you're gonna see. I have this um light.
Okay.
You see my lights there?
Yes.
And so that keeps it depends on the angle. Sometimes it creeps in there, but you have to play with it and then not get the glare in the glasses. Yeah.
Yes, I gotta play with it. When I first started doing content, I was like, "Oh, this looks so bad," but I'm like known for my glasses. I can't go without them.
I know. I do the same thing now too. But look at all these people who are joining. I don't know how to really manage all of that, but it's so cool that people are joining because I was supposed to. And those some people might be tuning in and going, "Wait, I thought it was supposed to be with Joel Salinas."
Not it.
So we have a funny story to tell, me and Katie here, who, by the way, we just met and started talking about what 5 minutes ago, right?
Well, you have to. We have some really great banter back and forth on Substack all the time. But
Yeah,
yes, our first official chat.
is right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
and what happened was I set this up with Joel Salinas. Actually, I think it was just 2 days ago, and we were like, "Oh, let's just do it and see what happens." I haven't met him either. We've only typed. Both of you and I are both newbies here, but we're like, "Yeah, let's do it." And so he texted me 2 hours ago and said his oh no, his wife got sick or his kids got sick. I forget.
probably everybody. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, and it's October, and so there's kids that are sick everywhere. There's like all these germs flying around. So he goes, "I can't do it. Sorry about that." And I was like, "No problem." I was like, "I could just talk by myself. I'm a talker." I had a podcast with like 150 episodes, so I could talk, talk, talk.
Gosh.
Wait, we're all new here. Why don't I look for somebody else? And I was like trying to find somebody who I really vibe with. And I was like, I'm gonna ask Katie Barnes. And so I texted Katie and here we are.
I'm like, let's do it. Why not?
Yeah, she's like, what are we gonna talk about? I was like, I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Well, and then also I just learned my kiddo has strep, so my husband's off to go pick her up too. So that October thing is real.
Yeah, yeah, you were like, ironically, my kid is sick too.
Yeah, she's heading home.
Yeah. But this is let's talk we can start right there because look how awesome life is really right now because let's go back 10, 20, the last 10, 20, 30 years. It was like you'd be in an office. Well, all of us
Exactly.
would be in an office in some miserable job somewhere, which there's a place for all that stuff, but you would have had to really change things.
I genuinely don't understand how parents did it then. Or especially during COVID. My little one's only 2.5. So like we're still new in this game. But so fortunate that both my husband and I essentially work from home. So have the ability to grab her if we need.
Yeah, I mean, like that's really we always have to look for the blessings inside the curses, right? Like, oh, there's a there's tragedy going on. So the best leaders and most successful people, they're not the ones that don't have problems. They just stay calm and find their way through them the quickest.
Exactly. Totally.
So we
And I
must
mean,
be leaders.
it, well, I'm an ops person too. So like, I can whip up a process real quick for how to handle her being home today.
Yeah. Hey, Juan says, "Hey, Katie. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Juan."
Hi, friend.
Let's see. Josh says, "Work from home. Something COVID changed for the better." I'm trying to. Oh, Juan says, "What's up, guys?" I'm trying to navigate all this because we were just talking about how it should be on the computer so we can function and have a cool conversation, but we're just improvising right now.
We're winging it. It's okay.
So let's just introduce each other to the world and each other and tell me about, you say you're an ops girl or what is your purpose here? I mean, we talk about
Yeah.
you. I tend to go back like we're building personal brands. I have a personal brand that I built on LinkedIn, which is like how I built my little empire here. And if you just post about how smart you are and what products and services you sell and business stuff, you're going to bore your audience. So we want to build a personal brand. We want to get to know each other. That's what a personal brand is. So, you could talk about anything you want, but what are you doing here on Substack?
Yeah, sure. So I am an ops person with a little over 14 years experience in early stage world. So that real mess. Am I getting a ton of feedback? I don't want to be super.
Oh,
Okay.
sounds
Okay,
good.
cool. So yeah, I spent 14 years with early stage companies, pretty industry agnostic, and was just seeing a lot of patterns happening over and over again with those different founders. And so this year I decided to go out a fractional and kind of do my own thing as a fractional COO or RevOps person. Um, and really stumbled upon Substack, honestly. It was so random. I went and looked on it. I had posted a couple of like my newsletters there just because I knew it was an easy platform to manage that and had like no traction. But one of those things where it's like, I feel like I can write better if there's more here. So I was able to feel free. And then I posted a note, just introducing myself and kind of trying to get across my in real life personality of like very empathetic, but also like gonna give you some side eye, gonna give you some like dry humor and wit. And for whatever reason, the note like really took off and I like found my home here on Substack and I adore it now. So just kind of trying to expand on that and share, like you said, some of the knowledge. Like, you got to drop some knowledge bombs in there on how my process work goes. But then also just kind of, rolling my eyes with the team about like the problems that are happening over and over again, but are so preventable.
Yeah, it's such a great platform to really meet genuine people. That's what I'm,
Yes.
like one of the things with all the other social media networks, they're all very algorithm driven, and we
Yes.
stuck those things. Like I could bore you with all those details about that, but LinkedIn, which is where I've spent most of my time over the years, but Facebook, Instagram, X, like they want you on that platform. Like
Yeah.
they do you create content, so you keep people on the platform, and they reward you by showing it to more people, and you get followers and all this and
Right.
dopamine, all that stuff. But Substack is different. So what Substack does is uh, it just lets you be you, and then people
Exactly.
follow along, and so the algorithm is like you make your own algorithm, really. It's like
You
you create
do.
that, and then people will latch onto you or not, and then they'll see more of you, and that's it. They basically the way Substack works for people who don't know, and I'm just learning along the way too, is like they only make money when we make money.
Yeah.
So they're giving us all they built this platform and they're giving us all the tools for success. And if we start making money, then they make money. If we don't make money, they don't make any money. So
Yeah.
their interest is making our lives as easy as possible, which is amazing. Isn't that amazing?
It is, and I have the platform is just great, and the mobile version and the desktop version I love. Not now I feel like we're an ad for Substack, but really once you're so used to like the other ones and LinkedIn, I do still spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, I won't lie. But once you spend your time there and get used to that type of thing, it's so refreshing to come over to this one and feel like you have a little bit more ownership and everything.
Yeah, and a relationship, genuine relationships, and I really like that.
Yes.
But what you said is right. I don't want this to be a Substack commercial. We don't have to go that way. Like I think the best way, like what I like to talk about a lot, like my stuff is focused on my all of my coaching that I've been doing for 20 years. I've been sober 22 years. That's just part of my story.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of addiction recovery counseling. I did a lot of different types of business over the last 20 years. I built a big, very successful uh, rare coin company, and that changed my life. I started flying around the world, going scuba diving. That's why I live in Playa del Carmen right now. And so I've done a lot of different things, but all of my coaching, whether it's business, I help people build amazing businesses, do branding, all that stuff. I have a financial education company, but all the coaching that I do focuses on focus.
Yeah.
And
And
all
deep.
Yes, yes, all of the success in the world, and, I'm giving you, like, the runway here in a second because I think it's a good topic to talk about because the whole world is so unfocused right now, and it's because mostly because of what we're I was gonna hold up my phone, but we're on the phone, but yeah, like, pretend this is the phone. It's like, you know, social media is designed to hijack our attention, so everybody is all day long that we have our attention in a thousand different directions and not getting any real quality work or life done, and you want
Agreed.
stuck, and it's because you're not focused. So my coaching all focuses on you have to first of all define your vision. You need to give yourself something to focus on, and then you need to get laser focused on only that one thing at a time and go deep into it. And that's how you create success. That's how I built my little empire that I have, and that's how I coach other people to do the same thing. So what's your experience with focus, productivity, flow state, emotional intelligence? I think that might be a good thing to talk about, but if you wanna talk about cats and dogs, we could do that too.
No, I think that's great. It's something that I'm working on in myself. I'm like 4 years from basically dropping Instagram because I was finding that I was comparing myself too much to others and it was really impacting my mental health. Um, so bailed on that and I found that it helped immensely. And I mean, this might be TMI, but my husband and I were going through some fertility challenges and things. And so seeing all these other people that were hitting the thing that I wanted and getting that success was really hard. And then once I was able to step away from that one and just kind of focus on my own mental state a little bit more, we were able to get pregnant. So, I mean, that's like huge, like, yeah, exactly. Huge win and like shows that certainly what you're saying is true. And I think now I've really tried, I still have a little bit of the addiction with like LinkedIn, I think for sure. But I kind of want to argue that that's because I'm so focused on building my own brand and getting my voice out there and just growing myself. So hopefully it's not too over the top, but yeah, I definitely have to force myself to get off of these platforms occasionally just to like clear my head and, take yoga or take the dog for a walk even.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the world we live in too. Like it, it, it's a really interesting challenge, and the reason it's the same as eating. Like there's people that have food disorders, but we need to eat. Now we
Yeah,
don't eat nearly as much as we do, but we do need to eat, and so the food is there, and so we only need to eat a little bit. But if your brain is wrapped around excess, which everybody's is, then that's what causes problems. And it's the same thing with social media. There's nothing wrong with. I mean, all these things from when Facebook first came out, I remember it was like whenever almost 20 years ago now, and it's like, wow, I'm 53 years old. And I was like, at that point, I was like, wow, I haven't seen that dude in 20 years. And it was so cool, but it connected the world. And now everybody's connected again. And now everybody just is angry and fighting over their own belief system and stuff. And so what happens is you can get on social media with good intentions to achieve a goal. I need to find some sort of a solution to a problem. I need to find a viral video to share on so I can grow my business. I need to do this and that. But 4 hours later, you're watching giraffes play with kittens
right.
because short form video hijacks your attention. And if you're not
Yeah,
aware of that, then that's why the whole world's distracted now. And while you're watching that, let's go get something to eat, some sugary drinks, and then
exactly.
yeah, our lives are falling apart, and our partners we're not giving attention to, and that's why. And so I think we really just need to be aware of all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the first step is to being aware of the issue. I feel like I've been lucky to avoid TikTok. I tried briefly, I won't lie, to use that for brand awareness too and realize like this is not a good place for me to be. I need to step away from it. But it's insane how quick that algorithm starts to know exactly what you're addicted to and it pushes it.
Yeah, totally. And so think about this. So the way that social media works is this is like when you see that little red dot, in the your notification
Mhm.
there, that's dopamine. That trips off the dopamine sensors in our brain. And it's like somebody loves me, right? And so all day long, they know that. We're like rats in an experiment. We're looking for more dopamine. And so we're actually physically addicted to social media
Yeah.
to social media. And it's keeping us stuck. Now, when I write content, and for those who are listening, which there's 23 people here, Hodman just joined on, that's really cool.
Hi.
Um, uh, so when I write content, and not so much on Substack. Substack is more of a intimate, personal. Like we just write like
Right.
from our
Yeah.
really, and it's really cool. But like when I'm writing content on LinkedIn or on other platforms, there's a hook, right? You have
Yes. Yes.
yeah, there's a format to the content we write. There's a hook, there's a sub hook. The average person is scrolling through 2 football fields a day of content on their phone. So you have like a fraction of a second to make an impact and get them to stop. So we write a hook, we write sub hooks, then we write supporting text to support the hooks, and to get like it's all designed. And I can, if anybody wants to know more about this, I have ways to teach you. But um anyway, the point of that is to get you to stay on that post and read that whole post. And the reason I say that is because short form video is the exact same thing. It's
Yeah.
the biggest problem right now in terms of attention spans, ADD, all these things that people say they're suffering from is because short form video is designed the same way. There's a hook. You know, when you look on YouTube, there's even the thumbnails have hooks.
You're right. Yeah.
So everything is designed to hook you and then keep you engaged. And then you go from one hook, you know, you watch the average viral video is like 11 seconds, I think. So it's like you watch that hook, 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 and then
Yeah.
4 hours later, giraffes and kittens. You're like, what just happened?
I want to hear more about this football field analogy or 2 football fields. Is that what you said? 2 football fields of scrolling?
Yeah, the average person is scrolling. So if you look at your phone, this is my air remote control, but
Very high tech.
yeah, so I'm using it as a phone. So the average person is scrolling all day long, 200 feet a day.
Wow.
So it's insane, right? So our attention is can't be anywhere else because it's here. And
Yeah.
Gary Vee said this like 15 years ago. He's like, you know, when you go out to dinner and you look at the table next to you and there's a couple and both of them are staring at their phones. And
Yeah.
this is when I was starting to get into this type of business in this world. And he goes, you could feel sorry for them or you could be what they're looking at. And so I became
Okay.
what they're looking at, right?
Yeah.
We create content to capture people's attention and get them to go through funnels and workflows and create business. So that's what that's what we do. But on the consumer side, you got to be aware of what's happening. Like if I'm telling clients that we're doing marketing or branding or social media stuff for, it's like if you're going to look for viral videos or whatever your social media purpose is, maybe you're not doing viral videos. Maybe you're just trying to look for something and your kids are playing here. You should be playing with your kids.
Yeah.
And
Right.
say, all right, I'm going on social media, set a timer.
Yeah.
10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is, set a timer. When the timer goes off, put the phone down.
Get off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we use that for our kiddos, so why not use it for ourselves? It's like only fair, right?
Yeah. I mean, like the timer is in the phone that you're looking at. So just put the timer on, you know, and also like, I could talk about focus and productivity all day. It's like, it's my jam. So I love talking about it, but I want to give you a chance to talk. I feel like I've either had too much coffee or I'm monopolizing the conversation.
No, you're good and same. Yeah, I think the timer's a really good hack. I haven't utilized that very much. For me, Slack is usually the one that's really hard, makes it hard for me to stay in one spot. Um, I don't know if it's the ops in me or what, but like I feel like I need to be ready to put out any fire at any time. So if there's a Slack message coming through, I'm like, okay, I got you. Hold on. But I need to like chill on that one, I think, and silence that sometimes.
Yes, absolutely. You know, and then let's go back to focus. So focus when we're doing when I start working with people, we have to get it starts with focus and it starts with like, all right, I need to get focused. I need a vision. So what is that? So you need to define what that is. And so everybody writes business plans. I've written dozens of business plans. I've raised millions of dollars, but everybody forgets to write a business plan for your life.
Yeah.
What what's your vision? What's your end game? What's your mission statement? What are your values? What kind of car do you want to drive? What do you want your partner to look like? Do you want a partner? Where do you want a house? Do you want 5 houses? Like everything, write all that down, and then we reverse engineer the goals and make them happen. That's how you create progress. And if you don't have like the goal to focus on, then we end up scrolling. We're unclear on what it is that we're doing, or we're eating when we're not hungry, getting drunk, getting stoned, or doing whatever.
Totally.
Yeah, watching porn. Like everybody's just misguided and they don't have purpose. And so as humans, think about this. This is why this is right now. I saw this comedian maybe a month ago, and he was like my age, like 50 something, and he's like, in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, we didn't have that word mindfulness. It's a new word. Everything we did was mindfulness. Like I would walk to the bus stop when I was a kid, and it was mindfulness. I wasn't staring at my phone. Like I was like, look at that tree. Look at the ants on the ground. Like our
It's
life,
true.
we were mindful. We watched the dew drip on the windows on the school bus, and we would go sit on the toilet. We would like read the shampoo bottle or
Right.
count the tiles on the floor. It was like everything we do,
True.
and we were aware. And now our attention is so fragmented everywhere. There is no mindfulness, and so
No.
we're so distracted that so people either have too many things they're trying to do, or they don't know what they're trying to do. And so you have to define what it is you want to do, and then don't do anything else except what's going to get you to that goal. So here's my goal. What am I doing right now? Is what I'm doing right now going to get me closer to my goal? If it is, keep doing that.
Yeah.
If not, stop doing that.
I love this. Yeah. I mean, I essentially tell a version of this to all of my clients in the form of OKRs and things for their company. But you're right. I've not done that for my own specific life. I certainly have my business plan and whatnot, but I think that's great. So, are there points against me if I use my chat GPT to help me through this?
No, I mean, and that's a starting point. That's awesome. Do it. Like what I would say, I'll send you and anybody who's listening. Like I have a whole vision plan system. If anybody's listening and
Yeah.
wants, I'll just give it to you. Like it's the way I coach my clients, but I'm happy to share that with everybody and take it and plug it into ChatGPT. This is who I am. This is my goals and dreams. This is what I hope to achieve in 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and 30 years. And have it print out your vision plan. Then when you're done with your plan, then create your vision board. Not before,
Yes.
right? It's not like the way we used to do it was 20 years ago, we would buy uh, or go to Goodwill and buy a stack of magazines, a glue stick, a
Yes. Those were the, yeah,
yeah,
those were
so
the best.
yeah, we would write these business plans now, or not write business plans, create vision boards. But they were kind of misguided. It's like whatever pictures were in the magazine, I would use.
Good point. That's a really good point. You're setting yourself up for a little bit of failure there if all of your best ideas come from Vogue or Cosmo or whatever you guys are reading.
Yeah, well, and it was limited to what you see, not necessarily your dreams and visions. So now, write your vision plan, and then when you're done, you take that information, open up a PowerPoint or a Google Slides,
Yeah.
go Google all of your stuff and make a vision board.
Or
And then
Pinterest. Pinterest is fun.
pictures is great. Yeah, and find your dreams and put them on a board.
Yeah.
Put that in view where you can see it somewhere every day. So it's like it plants seeds in your brain every single day. Look at that and be like, you know, how can I get closer to driving that car and that partner and that business and this?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you'll start seeing your dreams come true. I mean,
Yeah.
it works. It's not like foo-foo stuff. It really works that way. But if you don't define it, it's hard to build.
Yeah. That's a great point. I think
And
we have
so,
a question.
oh, really? Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Rachel.
All right. I think there are a few. This is
Yeah.
great. Thanks for reeling me in here. Um, Mario says there's only one feature I think is a must-have so users can rest a bit from the fast food social media. When sharing on those platforms, namely Instagram and Facebook stories, the share having a link to Substack automatically, much like Spotify share. Yeah, yeah. So totally cross-utilizing platforms. I think that's what he's asking. I'm doing that with LinkedIn, starting to shoot people here, and even my website, my personal website. Instead of keeping them on my website, I'm starting to shoot them over to Substack.
Yeah, same. I know we have a mutual friend with Mel, and she's good at talking about that too.
Yeah. Yeah, because well, the thing with our personal websites, like I've spent like so much time and money on personal websites, but the thing is this, unless you're Tony Robbins, we're not getting a million
No.
every month to our thing. It's really just about brand awareness. And if you have another goal, if you were hanging out on Substack, which there's people here watching us talk, are obviously hanging out on Substack, which means like you have some sort of bigger goal in mind, like monetization or something like that, then just shoot people back to the Substack.
Yeah,
You know, that's what I think. It depends on your goals.
agreed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds like some of the platforms don't love that so much, but, you know, whatever.
I know. Substack does. They
Yeah.
like Um, Mario says, "Yeah, you have 3 seconds to grab their attention. It's sad." Hogman, great stuff here, you two. Quick question. What's the first practical step someone should take to move from that state of fragmented attention to clearly defining a goal worth focusing on in the first place? I could take it or you can. It's up to you.
I think you can, but I just would say I think what you laid forward already, like mapping out the business plan of your life kind of is something that I'm hopeful to do today. I'm like, I've got some sunshine here. So hoping to step out in that, take a deep breath, and then maybe come back and launch into that.
Yeah, you know what? And why don't we do this? So, like everybody who's listening, I'll do another Substack live, and we'll create a vision plan together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, like, I have that as a value add thing on my whole systems that I offer and in my network and class and everything. And I would love to share that with you all. And I think that you'll really get a good benefit from it. And that's a starting point. So the vision plan is the big goal.
Right.
Then every day when we wake up, you need to know what you're going to do that day. Because I think a lot of people focus on it. It's like, all right, I want $10 million. Now, all right, if you just stare at the 10 million, that's hard. But if you can make like it's not a practical goal to have on a daily basis. So if I'm looking at 10 million, that's too big. But it's because it's like, what do you make now? Well, I make 50 grand. Okay, so it's not possible to make. You're not even capable right now of making.
Right. Right.
So why don't we get to 100 grand? So that's 100% improvement
Yeah.
in the next year, like, that's pretty good, and you have to
Yeah.
move in manageable steps, but you have to know on a daily basis when you wake up in the morning, first of all, never start work without a list, and never start work without
I like
item.
that. Yeah.
So, write 3 things down, not 30, because if you write too many things, you get overwhelmed and don't do anything, end up scrolling, eating when you're not hungry, getting drunk or stoned. So write 3 things down and then say which one of those 3 is the most important. And when you wake up in the morning, exercise, drink your water, do what you need to do, and then do that one thing.
The one. Yeah.
Don't stop. Don't look at anything else. And this is the hard part.
That is.
Don't have 20 tabs open and start checking all your tabs. Just do the one thing until that's done. And if you just do that one every day for a week, you'll double your productivity and probably your income in a week if you do that. Just that one thing.
All right. I'm giving it a try. It's hard when your list is on your phone. So you're picking up that phone and you're like, oh, shoot, that little red dot keeps popping up on all of the places I want to see.
Yeah, it's unavoidable. It's hard. And so if you don't have the awareness, we fall into the trap. I can do it too. So I have meetings every morning. This is my last one of the morning. And then what I do is I go to Starbucks down the road and I sit in Starbucks and I focus and I turn everything else off. If I have like one major task, I need to do. The problem that most people don't reach their goals is because when we start on whatever our goal is, for it could be for the day or for our life or whatever, there's this euphoria. We're like, all right, so this
Yes,
is
just for thinking it, you mean?
yes. So
Yeah.
that, like when you think of addicts, because I used to do this work a lot in neuro
Yeah.
addicts, when you think like a cigarette, getting a drink, getting stoned, like all these things, even the porn, all the stuff, it's all the same. It's the same. It's just a distraction
Right.
from from something, right? So we have to figure out. So if we could define what our main goal is, when we define it, like actually, I'm sorry, let me finish that thought. Like a cigarette, we all know you shouldn't smoke, right? Everybody knows that, even smokers. So why do we keep doing that? It's because it's not necessarily the act of smoking, it's that feeling of taking 5 minutes away from the world.
Yeah.
And that's the feeling that we're attracted to. And so we know at some point, even while you're picking up, I used to smoke 20 whatever years ago. It was like, I knew it was wrong, but it was like, it was a habit.
Yeah.
So you have to create new habits. And we employ things like cognitive behavioral therapy. Do you know CBT?
Mm. Uh, no.
Well,
Well, like,
CBT,
yeah, yes, a little bit.
yeah, it's like a pattern interrupt. It's emotional regulation.
Okay, yeah.
So you've probably seen people with a rubber band around their wrist.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what that is, that's actually science too. So if you're trying to quit something or to regulate your emotions or to change a habit or something, so that is part of CBT. It's not like cognitive behavioral therapy itself. It's part of a bigger thing.
Right.
But when you when you think I want a cigarette or I want to get drunk or I want to get stoned or I want to watch porn or I want to eat chocolate or whatever your thing is,
Yeah.
you snap your band
Okay,
and
well, I've got my hair tie ready, so
do it. And no, so here's the thing. So you say, when you feel like doing your thing that is not getting you closer to your dreams, you snap and you want to snap until it hurts. And the reason is because when we think of the thing, let's say I'm thinking about having a drink
yeah.
and your brain goes, oh, it associates good with that. It associates pleasure. That's what dopamine is. It's the pleasure sensor. So we think, if I have this drink, there's pleasure on the other side. If I just smoke this cigarette, there's pleasure on the other side. So what the snapping does is we feel the pain here, but it's actually registering in our amygdala where we
Right.
right. And so what we're doing is we're actually trying to make our brain work for us. So when we think of the cigarette, our brain starts to associate it with pain instead of pleasure.
All right. You're giving me so many things to walk away with.
Right. And so those are little tools that we use in order to stop harmful behaviors, build your dreams, start building a business. Why can't I build my business? Well, you have to become the person who makes $1 million a year.
Right.
And right now, if you're making 50 grand, that's who you are. So you have to become the person who makes more. And it takes a little time. And people don't like time.
No. But if you break it up in chunks, I mean, again, that's how I present work to my clients too, is like, let's break it down in chunks so that you don't feel overwhelmed and it is a realistic thing to get to.
Yeah. And
And it also compounds and you'll still get there at the end, but you got to take it step by step.
step by step. Yeah. So again, I monopolize the conversation.
No, you're good. And I'm actually a bad guest. I need to go grab my charger because, like we were saying earlier, I didn't realize I needed to be on my phone. And turns out my phone's dying now. So let me grab that really quick so we can keep going.
Yeah. I can keep talking probably.
Okay. I'm still listening.
No, no problem. Yeah. So the whole thing really, like I said, focus needs to be the focus of everything that we're doing. So, and you really need to go deep. I don't know if you ever did you ever read the book Deep Work by Cal Newport?
I did not.
So what deep work is, and if anybody's listening, I'll talk about it real quick. But deep work is really the solution to most of our problems right now, is because we don't go deep on anything. So to finish that thought about like there's this euphoria, right? So we're like, I have a goal. Okay, my goal is I'm going to do this, and I have to get to level 10, but I'm at level 1. And right around level 2, it gets hard, and that's where we stop. So we come up against the wall almost right away, and the euphoria wears away, and then I don't know what to do now. That's hard. And so
Yeah.
that's where most people quit. So some people make it to 4 or 5. Very few make it to 7 or 8, and then there's the 1% that make it to level 10, and those are the ones we hear about. And we think
Right.
lucky. They didn't get lucky, they just didn't quit when it got hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been needing to remind myself of that one a lot lately as growing different accounts and building my own personal brand. I'm getting a little impatient, but like gotta write it out and keep breaking it off in chunks.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way that it works. And, we have to find our way through. And this is where deep work comes in, is this. In the book, he goes into it in depth, and it's an amazing book. I highly recommend it. Everybody, it's called Deep Work by Cal Newport. And yeah, so the really, really smart, highly focused, intense people like scientists, doctors, lawyers, uh,
Yeah.
accountants, those people who have high focus capability have a maximum attention throughout the day of high productive work, 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. That's it. The rest of us normal people have 1 to 2 hours of really high input of work. That's our capability all day long. So when you see all these companies renting out, you know, $20 million a month rents for buildings to have their workers in there for 8 hours a day, it doesn't work.
No, definitely not.
Nobody
Yeah.
8 hours of high level output. So, um, the most is for us normal people 1 to 2 hours. So what does that mean? It means we wake up, and then the idea of sleeping is when you wake up, you have a full tank,
Right.
and then you start using your gas throughout the day. Most of us wake up, you start looking at Facebook, you see who
Good
your
point.
and families are watching a different political person that you like. Now you're getting angry, you're using up your gas. And then you drink some sugar and eat some French toast cereal and all that poison, and then why don't I have energy by 11 o'clock?
Weird.
And I didn't get anything of value done.
Yeah. Yeah. I've certainly had days like that, I know. So it makes a lot of sense that you need to keep in mind that you're losing some of that energy in the tank when you're looking at that kind of thing. And hopefully it can help you step away a little bit.
Yeah, and the best way to combat that is to do this is so when you wake up, the first thing you wanna do actually is best to do the night before. What are the 3 things that's gonna change my life and push me closer to my visions, goals, and dreams?
Yeah.
Write that down before you go to bed, the 3 things. And when you
Yeah.
wake, do those things first while
Yeah.
you still have a tank. Before you start getting angry about politics and this and that, do those things. That's gonna get you closer to your goals and dreams. And then later on, if you wanna look at social media for 20 minutes and indulge in, like, anger and sadness and grief, I don't know why you would do that, but do it after you do things that are gonna get you closer to your goals, dreams, and wishes.
Yeah. I need to start putting a reminder on my phone or something because even if I say that once I get up, I have a toddler. So that totally shifts everything. Once her mood totally regulates my day sometimes. So maybe mine's more waking up, figuring that part out once the daycare drop off is done. Then it's like, ooh, now.
Yeah, and you have the hardest job in the world. I mean, in addition, so you're trying to build, um something here, whatever, not just on Substack, but like build a business with a kid. That's really hard, right? And that's why you need these productivity.
Yes.
I do these things. I'm not speaking from up here like I don't need these things. I just tell people what to do. Like I do these things, and
Yeah.
there's other focused productivity ti tips, tools, and tricks. I mean, I could do another Substack uh, live on these things also. Um, it might be better to do it like on a Zoom where I could share my screen and show you some really cool
Yeah.
ways to build, your business. I'll do that. I'll
Yeah.
send out a post. I'm going to organize a Zoom Google Meet thing.
Let's do
Um,
it.
and everybody who's here, we're going to have a focused productivity meeting.
I love it. Yeah, I'm in. Like, I'll take the tips I can get. I certainly have like figured out my own ways around things, but I know it's funny as someone that preaches so much streamlining and really simple systems, sometimes it's hard to adapt for yourself.
It really is. Yeah, and look, I have coaches too, and I think I think people feel like there's this demand that we're supposed to do everything ourselves or figure it out, and that's all bullshit. The best way to get
Totally.
on a go is to ask for help. It's
Oh, yeah.
the very best way. Success leaves clues. So if you see somebody who's successful, you say, go ask. Say, how did you do that? Can you help me get there too? If you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no.
Yeah. I
If
think
you
for me, like, parenting has really shown that too. Like, my ego and, like, modesty and all of that goes out the window then. So you're like, if I need help, I'm gonna ask for it, and I'm so grateful for the community I have for raising a kiddo. So why not be grateful for the one that I have building my biz?
exactly, yeah, and I'm happy to be that person for you if you want,
Yeah,
if you find value in that. But the whole thing is this: is like if you think of all the most successful people in the world, Bezos, Musk, name them, right? Oprah, whoever you love or hate, or whoever your success hero is, they all have coaches and mentors and accountability. Nobody does it alone. And they have teams of them. That's what an advisory board is. Like companies bring in like you have high level people in a company, whether it's a small, mid cap, enterprise level company with really smart people. Like everybody's like, you can look on social media, especially on LinkedIn. I'm a CEO. It's like you're not a CEO. It's really it's really hard to be a CEO. Like real CEOs, they're really smart. And like you see people like I'm a mindset coach for CEOs, but CEOs, their minds are pretty strong. Like they don't
pretty
mind.
solid.
Yeah. So they bring in advisory boards to
Yeah,
help
totally.
smart moves. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if they do that, why wouldn't we have our own little advisory board?
Yeah, it's so true. I feel like lately I've been using my chat GPT as my advisory board and help, but then I read pieces from like our friend Sam and I'm like, oh, gotta make sure and keep that in check too. Watch out for bias there and whatnot.
Yeah, and you should do that too. Yeah, like I have on my Gemini and like I use a couple too, but like on my Gemini, I have a business strategist who knows every single thing in the world there is to know,
Same.
everything, and my dreams, my wishes, my business aspirations, my business plans, multiple ones, like everything is in there. And I say, I need an answer for this. But
Yeah.
I have a Substack strategist. I have this is all on Gemini. If you're listening and you haven't done this,
It's
do it.
amazing. Yeah. Mine's
Yeah.
in chat GPT, but it's amazing.
Yeah. And that's a great place too. So what I find is I have ChatGPT for my creatives, for my Substack stuff,
Yeah.
for my LinkedIn. It's a better creative source than Gemini. Gemini is good for everything because it's Google. They have all the
Right.
in the world, right?
Yeah.
So, so I had that. I created a marriage counselor one for my relationship.
Ooh, that's smart. Okay.
Yeah, so I run a lot of my decisions by my different uh, AI agent therapists that I have, and I have a
Yeah.
health one. I have so there's business. There's another one I can't think of. LinkedIn. Yeah, so I mean, like, create one. This is why coaching, high ticket coaching, is really dead. Like,
Okay.
because there's agents now you can just consult, but the human condition. If you find it's hard to find a coach that or like a real coach who really, I like to think I am a,
Yes.
a good human coach, but there's a lot of people who aren't yet qualified to be good coaches and business consultants. So, but in in lieu of having a lot of money to hire a big expensive coach, we have options now.
Yeah, I adore that. I have different projects for each of them. And I mean, you certainly can't rely on it too much. I love having it pull from my suggested experts too, so that I feel like I'm getting coached by like the big names that they want.
That's a great idea. I haven't done that. I'm gonna do that today too. I'm gonna, yeah. So you just go in and be like, I do model posts. I like if I see a great post with a great format, great calls to like great
Yeah.
layout, I take it and say like, can we model this? And I do that, but I haven't say consult with this expert, industry expert. That's what kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah, so when I started one of my coaches, I set it up so that I spend a lot of time with early stage startups and typically SaaS. So I started with making sure that I listed, I don't know, 15 of the biggest voices and leadership in that world and was like, I want you to guide me based on what these people would do. And then it has like, it'll give me different options based on what each of them would say if I wanted, or yeah, it's great.
Yeah, this is cool. Let's see, what else do we have here? So Mario says, like I usually tell my patients, stop dreaming. Dreaming is great. Acting is better. Absolutely. Look, we have 32 people here listening to us babble.
I love it. I think we did pretty good for a last minute throw together.
It was a last minute throw together. Literally. I was outside and I was like, Katie, she's cool. We had some good little rapport.
Yeah.
And so I changed everything from Joel to Katie and we still had a good turnout.
Yeah. And you
What else?
cold plunged, right? Were you cold plunging when we were talking?
No, I wasn't cold plunging, but our pool. So I live in Mexico.
Oh, right, right.
The weather is starting to get cooler. And so from like November to April is like paradise. And it's cool in the morning, refreshing and warm,
Yeah.
ice throughout the day. But in the summer, it's like really hot and humid, tropical. Like we
Totally.
Spain for the summer, for the last 2 years. And it's like it could be hot there, like 42, 43 Celsius, which is over 100 degrees. But here it'll be 33, 34 Celsius, which is like 95 ish.
Yeah.
The top of my head, but way hotter. It's like that tropical equator humid heat. And so anyway, it's changing. It's switching seasons right now. So the pools are getting cold. So when I was just talking to you, I was like,
Yes.
pools.
Well, I've done cold plunge into a sauna and I only like one time I live in St. Louis, so we're a little bit behind the times in certain wellness things. And I'm like dying to find a place where I can do this all the time. I hear so many people love that like this switch there and that it like brings a lot of clarity.
The cold plunge.
Yeah, like a cold plunge and then followed by sauna or reverse.
Yeah, yeah, yes. The extreme changes. Yeah. But
Yeah.
you could buy a cold plunge thing and actually you could buy a sauna for your bedroom. My sister did that. They have a sauna and a cold plunge in their bed. They have a big
Really?
bedroom, big house, big bedroom, but, it's probably not practical for everybody, but they have that in their bedroom.
I was gonna say my husband would roll his eyes so hard at me, like, "How many times are you actually gonna use this?"
Yeah,
But I don't know, right now it sounds great, and I feel like the times that I have kind of done it, it's like I walk out of there like, "Whoa, okay, I'm awake."
yeah, and these are things so this is all part of becoming the person you need to in order to create that success that you're looking for. Like, I'm assuming everybody who's watching this wants to get rich and make money and be successful, build a good business, things like that. And, you have to think and I've gone through these phases too where I struggled and before I was able to get to a certain level. But you have to like I said earlier, you have to become that person. And I'm not just talking about like, you know, working skills, writing skills, things like that. It's you also your health.
Yeah,
That our whole makeup is it's the kinetic chain, right? So there's your muscular system, there's your skeletal system, and your circulatory. Like all these things really need to be in alignment. If they're not, it's hard to really perform at a high level in the other areas of our life. And
yeah,
I think a lot of people are just waiting for some sort of magic time to happen when all of a sudden you're making $100,000 a month and you don't have to like worry about anything anymore. But you have to become that person that can handle that can manage that type of lifestyle. And
yeah,
it takes time to do and effort and consistent day in and day out of becoming the person who deserves the success and who can handle the pressures of managing a team and growing a business and doing all these things. And in your case, like also raising a family. Like you have to be healthy to do
Okay.
that.
So is this my doctor's note saying that I should have a sauna and a cold plunge at my disposal?
Yeah, Dr. Dennis says no.
Perfect.
But I mean, like, you have to find out what's healthy for you.
Yeah.
If you're getting tired, I mean, there's just like there's so much awareness now around health, which is one of the things I love right now about the state of social media because a lot of it is just awful, depressing, sad political crap, which I hate, obviously. And but the one thing is they are bringing the truth around what's actually healthy. So you should really you know eat eat some eat protein, some vegetables, don't eat sugar and processed foods, and you're gonna have a nice life. Go
Yeah.
out and stop spending so much time inside. We need to get grounded too. We need to touch the earth. We need to put our feet in the ground, the sand, the mud, the dirt, the grass,
Yes.
and we're natural beings. We need to be part of that, and we need to connect with that. The average person is like you wake up, you you do whatever you're doing before you leave the house, and then you put on your shoes, you get in the car, you drive to a workplace or a store, you walk to the store, you're inside again, or you work, and then you work for you get back in your car to go back into the garage, into the house. We don't even breathe fresh air anymore.
Yeah. That's a good point. I I feel like I spend a lot of time trying to do yoga as part of my wellness, and that makes me feel a little bit close to that. But you're right. I literally yesterday was in a vinyasa class where at the end they were like playing the sound of like a babbling brook or something. And I was like, oh, this is great. I'm like literally still sitting in the middle of like a workout studio with all these different colored lights, not outside where I probably should have just gone.
Yeah, and I used to do motivational speaking too, and I used to tell this story, and we should probably end it here because we're getting close to the top of the hour.
Yeah.
Unless you want it, I don't need to show.
No, that's great.
So what I say is that it was a long speech that I used to do, and it was like 20 or 30 minutes. This one part of it, but I'm gonna give you the 1 minute version. But now there's 34 people listening. Isn't that amazing? We had 34. Hodman wants
Okay.
is gonna get an iced coffee. Thanks for putting this together. Yes, you could be next. We're gonna do more.
Cheers.
Um, so it goes like this. We all go on vacations, and always at maybe it's like 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, and at the last day of vacation, everybody says the same thing. Oh, it's back to the real world tomorrow. But that's not the real world. That's the world that we created that has us so stressed out and angry and fearful and insecure. And we have to stay in this place that makes us feel that way. And we work so hard, clawing, grinding, just to be able to save some money to go back to the real world for a week.
Yeah.
And that's what the world's doing. We're living a life that it's such a struggle and so hard. And Steve Jobs said, and Steve Jobs, who wasn't a great human, but he was a really smart businessman. He's like, we shouldn't have to push so hard. When you have the right vision, the vision pulls you. You
Yeah.
know, we're all pushing so hard, and that's the reason there's so much struggle and anger and sadness and depression in the world. Is because we're most of us aren't living the way we want to. We're living a life that was designed by somebody else for us. And maybe we're not meant to do that.
Yeah.
And so we
Yeah.
struggle with that for decades. You could live that way for your whole life. There's people that live 90 years old and they never got to travel or see the world or do whatever it is you want to do. But you have to, if you're wherever you are, we all have different circumstances. But even if you're in a third world country, if you have a goal, I want to go here, you put that together. Start reverse engineering. What does it look like if I want to fly to Europe? Like, what do I need? All right, I need
Um,
$10,000 to go to Europe for a couple weeks to stay in a hotel. How am I going to do that? So it
yeah.
starts reverse engineer that and make it happen.
Yeah. I'm certainly going to leave here and map a little bit more of that out. I do feel grateful that the time that I've spent on my self branding and everything lately, when I came back from Spain, I was ready to kind of hit the ground running again. But I think that's because I put the focus here and I realized what I need to do to get to those goals and then hopefully go back to Spain with even more fun to be had.
Where were you? Like I told you, we were in for 2 months this summer and then 3 months last year. We were in Valencia.
Okay, we were in Barcelona and then we spent a couple days in Girona.
Nice.
It
Yeah,
was so great. Yeah.
yeah, Spain is amazing for those who
Oh,
have
God.
I recommend it.
Yeah. The lifestyle was just, yeah, so relaxing. And it was really interesting to go from Barcelona, which is like so crazy and bustling, to Girona, which was like so chill and cozy.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Barcelona is kinda like there's like this gothic feel, though, like when you go to
Gaudi. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. But
Epic.
any was there any closing arguments? I think we've reached the top of the hour.
I think this was great. I feel like I'm pretty proud of us for a last minute gathering.
Yeah. It went really well, and I think I drank too much coffee. I think I talked too much. Did I
No,
talk too
I think you're good.
Alright. Awesome. Well, look, we have 36 people. That's amazing. I can't believe it. I feel
I
like I
know. I know. That's so great. Love it. Hi, friends.
yeah,
Let's do it
I
again.
yeah, we'll do it again. We could do, like, the Dennis and Katie, show.
Yeah, I'm in. I'll
Yeah,
prep
thank
a little more next time, though.
no, yeah, like, we had 0 prep.
I think we nailed it.
Yeah, I think we did pretty good.
Well, thanks for
Alright, anybody
asking me.
yeah, thank you. Anybody have any closing arguments or questions or anything like that? I guess we'll zip it up, and please feel free to reach out to me or to Katie, right?
Yeah, love it. Let's connect.
We want people to reach out to you. Josh says, "Enjoyed your show, guys. Thanks. Thank you."
Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. So, yeah, it's funny. Like, I'm kind of a popular guy on LinkedIn, and I could put together like a webinar, and then sometimes, I've had some. It depends on the topic. I can have a couple hundred people show up, or I can have like 15 people show up. It depends on the topic, the notice, how much marketing I did around it.
Right.
But we just did this an hour ago, and there's 36 people.
Yay. Well, I hope we didn't disappoint.
No, I mean, isn't that amazing that we could do that on
Yeah.
really, it's a great business model, and I think there's gonna be big things happening in the future.
Yep. Agreed. Thanks, everybody.
Alright, adios, nice to meet you. See you soon.
Bye.
End this right now.